Yeah, absolutely, Kurt, you know.
How did this happen?
I had a lot of issues, as you know, as a child between me and my mother, and it kind of created a situation where I would go into relationships based on emotions with women because I had a need to have an emotional connection with a woman, more so than just the physical.
I mean, 33 children, that's a huge emotional connection.
Right.
I mean, do you take care of all these children?
Yep, to the absolute best of my ability, you know. But to say more on that though, you know, it's like you go into a relationship looking for an emotional connection.
I'm just curious, how is it possible? I mean, 33 children is a huge number. I mean, how is it possible to take care of 33? I mean, one is trouble for a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's extremely difficult. You know what I mean? Like, this is the test, but this is the test of my life. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm determined to make this happen. You have to understand what it all comes from in order for it to make sense.
We have two of your baby mamas here, Charmaine and Nicole.
Right.
And they're feuding, and their children can't even see each other because of the feud over you. So the children seem to be suffering.
Right, absolutely. I mean, I don't consider them baby mamas. They're my children's mothers.
Okay.
But, you know, they definitely have the right to have a lot of emotional feelings, you know, towards one another. It's something that, you know, that they got to get past because in order for me to start off, you know, uniting my children, I'm starting with them because these are the two women that I had the longest relationships with. You know what I mean? And I have extremely good relationships with, you know, with both sides. You know, up until me and Charmaine separated. You know what I mean?
I'm out here acting like you the father of the year because you're not. Because we have 3 children together and you haven't seen them but once.
I don't want to hear any of that.
In 1 year.
I don't want to hear that.
In a year. You only seen
That's
them
your
once.
choice.
So
that's your
don't
choice.
Come out here painting
That's
this
your
picture
choice. I
like,
gave
yeah,
you and my kids the best life. It doesn't matter.
No,
it doesn't matter. Y'all had everything. You walked away from me.
So
you walked away from me.
So you want me to stick with you while you deal with all these other women?
You walked away from me. You had the biggest house, the best cars, and everything. You walked away from me.
I don't care about the material stuff, so you wanted me to deal with your stuff.
Jay.
You wanted me to deal with your stuff.
Jay.
I'm not dealing with that, man.
Jay, we got to stick around.
You wanted me to deal with your stuff.
Jay, we got to stick around.
Don't leave. Come back.
Jay, where are you going?
Where you going? Where you going? Oh, so this is what you do. This is what you do.
Jay.
You run.
Jay,
That's what you do. You run.
You haven't seen
You don't
these
want to have
children
this
in a long
conversation.
time.
Yes, he's gotten better. I mean, he has not always been there for my daughter. You know, in the beginning, it was very difficult because he wasn't around as much. He was all over the place, and I've shared this with him. I told him, you know, I don't like the fact that you can't be in one place. There was no relationship with Charmaine. There wasn't a relationship with Nikki. There was several relationships.
Do you consider yourself a situation or a relationship, Nicole?
Well, I mean, it went from relationship, situation, relationship, you know, it's just all over the place. And it's like, you know, people could sit here and say, oh, I was this and I was that, but at the end of the day, you was just another piece of the puzzle for everybody. You understand what I'm saying? Because Jay is all over the place, who commits himself to everybody. So we all could say we was in a relationship with
But you're all pieces of the puzzle.
At
the end of the day, we're just trying to put the puzzle back together for the children a little.
There has not been a commitment. Jay, can you honestly say that you were committed at one time or another to any one of us? I mean, I know that you have said that, but honestly, this is the situation that you've created. There hasn't been a commitment.
Of course, looking back and being a little bit older, I could say no, but going into the situations, like I said in the beginning, it was all based on emotions. Like with each one of you, I went into the relationship.
But how old is your youngest child?
2 years old.
So, I mean, that means you're dealing with this currently. I mean, so are you saying in the last 2 years you've realized all this?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, there's been a lot that there's been a lot that has changed over the last 3 years, because clearly I conceived my youngest child 3 years ago. She's 2.5 going on 3. You know.
What's the age of all these children?
The ages range.
Well, not all of them. We don't have time to.
My youngest is 2. I have a very beautiful young daughter that's 2, and my oldest is 25.
I don't know, like, absent, Like, I just seen him the first time a couple weeks ago for the first time in like 3 years.
That's because you've been shunning me for 3 years.
I've not been shunning you. You knew I was in Georgia for like 3 months, and you made no effort to see me.
Janae, every time I talk to you, it's hatred, and everything stems back from this situation with Charmaine, which I've been telling you over and over and over again. That first of all, I never even kicked you out of the house.
Yes, you did.
Listen,
I went to New York with my mom, and you said, don't come back.
But listen, that's not what happened, though. That's not really how the situation
So why else
went.
would you say
Like,
don't
first
come
of all-
back? Because you
first
weren't
of all-
there. You weren't there to have a reason for
Janae,
me not to come back. Only
first
she
of all,
was there.
First of all, right?
So like you were never there. You were there
First
like
of
every
all,
4 days
excuse
for like
me,
a couple hours.
I'm talking.
Okay.
Now, first of all, you know that I never mistreated you, and I've always loved you. And I've always done the best that I could do with the hand that I've been dealt and the blueprint that I inherited.
The hand that you dealt, listen, this is the hand that you created,
First of all, how many fathers do you know that will go to jail with their daughter because they want to
That has
take
nothing
his
to
daughter?
do with
What's that to do with
anything,
it? Listen, they wanted to take my daughter into custody because she said she wanted to be with her dad. And it was either go to jail or be with someone else, but you can't be with your dad. And I went to jail with my daughter. She wasn't going to jail by herself. You can't tell me I don't love you. But you've been
That was when
fighting.
I was
Listen,
15.
First of all,
Janae, what do you want to say to your father?
I'm just saying, like, why would you do all this, have all these kids? Like, I don't understand.